right, how many of you out there are PhD students or have gone down that crazy path of doing a PhD? To the 2% of you crazy enough to pursue something with a 90% chance of failure, tonight's talk is for you. We're smart enough to get into the program, but you don't require a PhD to realize that the odds of success are stacked against us. Several months ago, I was in a pretty dark place. I was depressed, I was stressed beyond belief, and I was on the verge of quitting my PhD. I was 5 years deep. I felt like I had lost my passion, or as I like to refer to it, my scientific mojo. When I went into the PhD program, I had goals of becoming a tenured track professor. Next year, I'll be graduating with my PhD, and I have dreams of running as far from the ivory tower as I can get. Strap on your helmet, folks. Tonight you're in for a wild ride. When you think about that place where an academic has that eureka, I found it moment, you think of a place that looks something like this. But for me, my eureka moment happened in a different place. It happened in a place that looked a little different. It looked like this. 10 miles down a mountain bike trail in the middle of Crested Butte, I had a nervous breakdown. I collapsed onto the ground, I cried my hardest cry, and I realized it was time for me to pivot. Tonight's not about the sob story, it's about how I became unstuck, how I figured out how to invest in myself and explore alternate career options. When we think about success, we tend to think that there's only one path, but what I want to talk to you about tonight is a different option, a different path, other things that you can explore. Tonight, what I want to talk to you about is the 5 steps that I took to pivot, the 5 steps that I took to get over my fears and frustrations and explore other possibilities that were out there, other possibilities where I could fuel my passion. So, step 1, adjust your lens. I didn't think the skills I learned in my PhD could translate to other fields, to industry, or to startup companies. But they can. Your soft skills are your assets. Figure out how you can let them translate. 2, explore uncharted territory. I took a course in entrepreneurship. I started talking to every scientist who left academia and started their own company. I asked them questions. I figured out how they did it. Step 3, embrace the alt route. I had several people tell me that it would be a shame if I left academia, if I pursued a different path. Fuck them. It's my choice. I get to live my life how I want. Step 4, gather your herd. We don't get through tough shit alone. Look outside of that. Surround yourself with people that love you, places like this that inspire you. Step 5, hustle like you mean it. Once you decide on a path that you want to take, commit. Explore all the options that are out there. Start that damn company you've been thinking about. Start a blog, start a website, do everything that you can. Finish your PhD, but if you don't, it doesn't matter. They tell you that, majority of PhD students will go on to become a professor, but the reality is 85% of PhD students find their passion somewhere else. We're taught to stay in this little box, to think that we're on the path to a certain area, but the thing is, you have to look outside of that. You have to consider other options. If you consider other options and you explore all of these opportunities, you realize that the world is big. It's a lot bigger than you think, and the possibilities are endless. You just have to be open to them, open to change. For a PhD student, the future remains unknown. There's a lot of fear surrounding it, but the thing is, you've already made it this far. You've already defied the statistics. So now, defy the status quo, because if you never take that leap, you'll never find out what is out there, what you are truly capable of. Thank you.